Hello, my friends. It is time to talk about the September 2024 PlayStation State of Play. I would say that going into this presentation, things were particularly weird just because, you know, the last one opened with Concord, ended with Astrobot. Both of those games have released since then with very, very different outcomes. And just Sony overall, like, everybody's just, all eyes are on Sony to see, like, what they're doing. They're really, like, largely failing to give us a lot of really compelling reasons to even buy a PS5, and now they're trying to sell the Pro. So going into this, it was very like, what even is going to happen? What is their game plan? We just don't know. But I'll go over overall thoughts at the end. They opened with Astrobot, which I think is perfect. I think they're really recognizing how much of a chord Astrobot is striking with people. So it was really cool that they started the show with it, and they went into details about that. Because right after the game launched, they announced that they were going to do a little bit of extra content, some like speedrun stuff, and it turns out that, like, I thought they were just going to add like speedrun mode to pre-existing levels or something along those lines, but apparently they're adding 5 speedrun levels, which is very cool. I think they should also add just a speedrun mode to the regular levels. I mean, that's a cool idea too. But this is good. This is fresh content. I don't know how long these levels are going to be. I mean, you know, they're supposed to be speed ran, so probably not like incredibly long. I don't know how hard they're going to be, but I'm excited to play them. I want more Astrobot, and since they announced this so quickly after launch, I just hope it's not the only DLC they end up doing. You know, I hope it ends up selling well enough that they end up doing something more substantial, maybe another collection of levels, maybe another world or something. I don't know, but this is cool too. This is free. Some extra bots that I did not recognize at first. I thought I guess from Helldivers. I thought it was Star Wars or something. Okay, so then they start with Astrobot, and then the second game they show, no joke, absolute highlight of the show for me, the Midnight Walk looks so cool. It looks incredibly cool. Art style's amazing. It looks really creepy and creative. But mostly it's like, it says it's handcrafted in clay. I don't know how much that means they're actually using real clay models and animating them and then translating those to the game, or they may be like doing that like 3D scan thing where, you know, they scan the object and then they animate it digitally. Is some of this stuff regular old CG and some of it, like, I don't know how much of it is actual clay or whatever. Whatever the case though, I think this game looks incredible. This just became one of my most highly anticipated games. We've gotten, you know, people do like the whole stop motion clay figure kind of thing. Any game that uses real objects and translates them into a game, I already love. But you mostly get this kind of clay style in like 2D games. But getting in one in a 3D game, I'm in heaven. I'm in heaven. I cannot wait for Midnight Walk. It looks so good. And apparently you can play a regular version or PSVR. And that's going to be really hard because PSVR will be a lot more immersive, but a lot lower resolution. So I'm having a hard time knowing what I'm going to pick. I'll decide at some point, I guess. So then they had a trailer for Hell Is Us, and it does look really cool. I really don't know much about this. It seems to be a pretty interesting world, pretty interesting enemies. Apparently it is I've heard it described as a Souls-like. I don't know like how closely it adheres to that formula or if it's largely just a third-person action game. I don't really know. I do think it looks cool, and I was going to praise this presentation for having this. Be like, oh, look, PS5. It's just a PS5 game. That's because that's what we need. We need like exclusive current-gen games. But then I looked it up, and apparently it's also coming to Xbox and PC, so it's not even a PlayStation thing. So, I mean, it does look cool. It does look pretty cool, but yeah, okay. Then they had Metro Awakening VR, which also looks pretty cool. I don't know. It's cool. You know, I hear really good things about the Metro games. They seem to be quite high-quality products, and this one looks neat. It's something else to play on my PSVR 2, even though I looked it up, and apparently it is also not a PlayStation exclusive, but okay. I will say, though, I do like that they seem to be continuing to support VR. You know, we were all kind of afraid that they were just going to stop completely when the PSVR 2 didn't sell very well. But now they're making it available for PC, and they're also selling their games on PC, so they may continue to support it just because now, if they make a VR game, then they can also sell it on PC and get more sales instead of just playing into this one tiny little ecosystem that really didn't get off the ground. But anyway, yeah, I don't know how many more, like, you know, first-party Sony VR games we're gonna get, but at least they're still doing it. They're still doing the VR thing in these presentations. We had Archage Chronicles, which looks fine, I guess. A little generic to me. It doesn't really have anything about it that stands out, so I don't know. And then Palworld. Palworld launched on PlayStation 5. Surprise launch, and we got a little trailer just saying, hey, Palworld is here, which is funny because Palworld is currently in the process of being sued by Nintendo, and we don't even know if they are going to be able to continue to have Palworld and sell Palworld. We still do not know. There's every chance that Nintendo is going to completely destroy them in court. And yet, here you go. They're still moving forward with Palworld on PlayStation. Okay, cool. Lunar Remastered Collection. I did not play these original games, but I do want to say, I just all of these RPG remakes and remasters and whatnot, I just think they all look so good, you know? This is cool because, you know, we got all like the Final Fantasy pixel remakes, and then we've had like the HD 2D stuff from Square Enix, and this has its own kind of thing. It's a little more still relying on the more traditional pixel art style, but like they give it this extra little bit of polish, and I don't know, I love it. I love the art style. Sonic X Shadow Generations DLC, where you get to play as Keanu Reeves' Shadow. Not something I expected, and yet pretty cool. Then we had another trailer for Fantasian Neo Dimension, which was shown off in a Nintendo presentation, so it's kind of cool to see it here, and I really, like, I've already kind of talked about it, but I just want to mention that this is the second game in one presentation to use real-world objects scanned into a video game, and I just want everyone to know, I want more of that. We need more of this. It's so charming. Then we got a big trailer for Dragon Age Veilguard. I have not played any of these games. I've always been like kind of tempted, you know, like the originals were, you know, classic BioWare. I was a huge fan of Mass Effect, so it's like, oh, it's like Mass Effect but fantasy, and I don't know. I just never got into it, and, you know, at this point, I don't know how much I trust EA. I hope this game ends up being good. I don't think I'm going to play it. I hope it ends up being good, if anything, just because then that gives us hope that maybe Mass Effect will be good again, too. I don't know. The trailer's okay. I think the gameplay's kind of fun. I think one of the reasons I haven't gotten to Dragon Age is just fantasy. Fantasy is just starting to see... It all runs together to me. It all starts to feel really, really samey. And so, I don't know. It's pretty cool, though. The animation and the acting is a little weird and stilted. I don't know if that's because this is, you know, I guess it doesn't look like a pre-rendered cutscene. I don't really know. I shouldn't say anything on this game. I don't know anything about it. It's cool, though. I'm not hitting every single game here. I'm kind of hitting just the stuff I got opinions on. Next, the VR Hitman game. The only thing I'll say about that is I could not stop laughing throughout the trailer. I don't know if it was being played for laughs purposefully or what, but like, it's like a comedy routine. Every little thing that goes on, I'm literally laughing out loud. It really seriously is like comedy. The timing is just, it's perfect. it's like intuitive gestures, and then it shows him just like punching a guy awkwardly. It's amazing. So then a Legacy of Kain collection. This has been rumored for a bit. I guess it was basically confirmed, just one of those things that really got out, but it's cool to get confirmation. I never played these games. I played the demos way back in the day, and I did always admire what the games were going for, just like artistically. They have such a strong style, and it just, I don't know, it really feels like a game that's trying to say something and trying to be something, and I know that there are a lot of fans of this series, so I think it's really Just really cool. They're getting new ones. It doesn't even look, it's kind of following the same model of those Tomb Raider remasters where like, it doesn't look that much better, but like, it kind of doesn't even matter. You know, it didn't need to be a big, huge, expensive, ground up remake, reimagining. It's kind of just cleaned up. It's just going to look a little bit better on HD TVs, you know, but it'll still like, it'll run really well on basically anything. If anything, the most important part of this was just getting it on modern systems. So it doesn't really matter how it looks. So yeah, it's like, it's not that much of an upgrade in this modern day and age, but it also like, who cares? It looks better, you know? It just looks a little bit better. Sand off the edges, and that's cool. Not every remake has to be a giant, just enormous 3-part reimagined trilogy. Towers of Agazba. This has been on my radar for a bit. It's looking pretty cool. It kind of just combines a lot of different stuff. It's a little Breath of the Wildy, Shadow of the Colossus, where you're just this little person running around with these big, huge landscapes, and I don't know, there's like town sim kind of stuff, but then there's a big emphasis on creatures, and I don't even exactly know what the game is based on the trailers I've seen, and yet I am intrigued by what I have seen. So I'm pretty interested in this one. I'm really not sure why this whole thing of launching console games in early access, I'm really not a fan. That to me, that should be just a PC thing. If it's on a game system, I really just want to play the game. So it's weird that they're advertising this slightly obscure game as coming to PS5 early access in November. Like, just, I don't know, just give us the game. Just like, finish the game, give me the game, I want to play the game. Then we got a nice, meaty new trailer for Monster Hunter Wilds. Looking wild. Every additional trailer, it just looks so much better. We've got a kind of a story thing here, bigger emphasis on the story, and I'm not even like really that into the story element. I'm not a huge fan of like the characters and the vibe that I've seen so far in the, I don't know, as far as that goes, but I don't care at all because the rest of the game looks really fantastic. They showed off another new monster, this big, weird, wiggly, water-looking thing. I don't know, just every trailer, it's all these new features, and I am very, very, very excited. Ooh, we saw like the wire thing. I didn't know, because, you know, I've played Rise, and it had like the wire bug thing, and here we see shooting the wire and using it to get around, but then like grabbing onto a thing and making rocks fall on a creature. That is cool. Using that in the environment to like affect things and pull things and make them topple over. That's super cool. I love that. Best part though, release date, February, end of February. It's always a bummer when a company reveals a game, they give you a really vague release window, like next year, and you're like, okay, when next year? Is it gonna be November? And then it gets delayed into the following year, and like you don't hear about the game for like a solid year. But they revealed this game, and I was like, all right, 2025, I bet we're not gonna hear about this for a while. And then they just kept giving it new trailers, and now, oh, apparently it's coming early 2025. We really don't have to wait that long, so that is a really pleasant surprise. Ooh, and we're getting a Capcom presentation tomorrow at the time of recording this video. That is exciting. Not gonna go into that now. Talking about PlayStation here, but Resident Evil 9, maybe. So then we got a thing for Lego Horizon. I think most people look at this product with some amount of, I don't know, disdain. I don't see anybody really excited for this, and I'm not gonna say that I am excited for it, but I do think it's a cool idea for a product. I think it's cool. They're taking one of their properties, making a silly Lego-themed, kid-flavored kind of thing out of it. I don't know. I think it's a fine idea, and they're releasing it on more than just PlayStation. I think that's a cool idea. However, I will say that this trailer, almost the entire thing, focuses on, like, skins and pre-order bonuses, and that's annoying. You know, like, I was kind of looking for like another, we only saw like that initial reveal, there's like a little thing there, and like I kind of thought there'd be like a bigger trailer for it, but it's like, oh, the game itself doesn't matter. We just all the digital deluxe and things and stuff that you can buy, and it's like, oh, okay, so cool, yeah. Sure. That seems to be the most important thing to you, so whatever. Then the big one, the big piece of news. Horizon Zero Dawn getting remastered. What a surprise. What a surprise. It's almost not even worth going into all of this here. But like, you know, it's the game that did not need to be remastered. It's funny, I actually played this game recently. Like, I finally got around to playing it like earlier this year. And, just does not need to be remastered. It already has like performance patches. It already looks perfect. It's already rendering at just about 4K on my TV. It looks great. I'm not necessarily going to fault them for remastering something that doesn't... Products are good. Options are good. Having a better looking Horizon is good. But like, yeah, it's just... when you're not otherwise putting out enough games to justify people buying your system, and you keep giving us these almost worthless remasters, and there's so many other games that could be remastered, it's frustrating. And like, apparently they redid all of the acting and the mocap and everything, which is kind of cool. I kind of want to give them props for that. But I also don't, because it's like, there wasn't really anything wrong with the original. It's like they have this thing where, you know, oh, Last of Us, we wanted to remake it and make it in line with the second one, so that now they're like the same, and now they're doing the same with Horizon. It's like, you know, you don't need to do that though. It's just not really, it's not really necessary. As I'm saying this though, I'm realizing that I think I'm probably just gonna do a whole video on this, so I'll stop there. Yeah, okay. Well, let's move on for now. At least we didn't get the rumored Days Gone remaster, though. That would have been a thing. Maybe next time. Maybe the next presentation. And then they go into just PS5 Pro stuff. The list of games that are gonna look so much 5% better on your PS5 Pro. And Demon's Souls is on there. That was like the one game. I'm like, oh, hey. The game already runs flawlessly, though. I don't know what they could possibly do. It already looks pretty perfect. And then they spent what I would call a weird amount of time just showing off new controller colors. I don't know. Maybe this is maybe it's a bigger deal than I realize. I mean, they're cool. It's like this weird chrome kind of thing, but yeah, I don't know. It's just like the trailer just goes on and on and on. It's colors, man. I don't get it. And then the big finisher was a sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, and just yet another game that I personally, nothing wrong with the game, that just does not meet my personal tastes. And so it's just like, oh, okay, so there's just another another big first-party Sony game that I am also not going to play. So I keep not having much to play on my PlayStation. So yeah, overall the presentation was fine. I mean, it had some stuff. You know, it ended with a ghost of whatever it is called. That's cool. That's a good game. It had some stuff. I don't know. It still didn't really have a lot for me, but it had that cool midnight walk game. It had stuff. Presentation was fine. That's all I got. I don't know. That's basically all I've got. See you later. Have a good day.